What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Backstop Banter, your favorite show. As Michael is, still lowering volumes and making us late to
No.
the show
It's
because
completely down. Actually, I was here first. We just had to do a reboot.
no. You are the reason we're late, though.
I mean, that is true, but I'm straight up. My volume is all the way down, and it's still that loud for some reason. You can see.
I know. Well,
That is crazy.
I don't hear any. I don't hear it anymore, so it's okay. We'll survive.
Okay.
Just gotta put it away from the mic. You know what I mean, Michael?
I mean, that's right. So, Connie, how are you doing today?
We're chilling. It was a weird. Listen, Mike, it was a weird day for me because listen to this, right? I'm supposed to work 11 to 6:30 today. Last night, I got a text from my assistant manager. All of a sudden, man's talking about you want to come in 12 to 4. I said, "What are you talking about? I already work tomorrow." He goes, "Oh, whatever." I said, "No, that's fine with me. I'll come in at 12. Though more sleep for me. No, you don't got to tell me twice. Nobody's trying to sit here and tug my leg to come in late." So I get there. So I'm planning on coming in at 12. I wake up this morning to a text message. Yo, you can stay to 11 if you feel, or you can stay to 7 if you feel like it. I said, bro, what's going on here? So I get into work 12 o'clock. They asked me how long I'm staying. I said, you know what? I'm staying till 5:30. I'll give you guys, you said 4, then he said 6, and he said 7. I'll split the difference. I'm going 5:30. So I stayed till 5:30. I think it was great negotiating on my part. And I think I should probably, in my next life be a lawyer as well.
There you go. Why not?
Let's go with you there, Mr. Michelle.
I mean, honestly, everything's good. I'm on a 3-day weekend for me, I guess. It was a weird situation. I won't say weird situation. We're moving into a retail tractor supply. I say it all the time. We're changing our transition, probably be a better word, or seasonal from winter over to spring already. So, two of us, me and another coworker, we took it on ourselves to do all the changing over. So Monday and Tuesday we had to be at work at 5 a.m. and we were done on 4 p.m. both days. Sunday we did freight, so 3 straight days of waking up 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning was rough. So now after that, I only have to work one more day, and it's Saturday, so I got 3 straight days off. So kind of enjoying it. Of course, yesterday it sucked because I woke up with a migraine, so that took most of my day. Today I had a doctor's appointment up in Lexington, or Lexiland, like I like to call it. So it was fun. Went by a card show while I was up there with the wife. Just picked up a new card. One of your players, if you
I'm
know
sure
who
she
he
was
is.
thrilled, by the way. Sure, she was thrilled.
She enjoyed it, she said. And, I'm actually trying to talk her into letting me open up a card shop here in Harlan. We both don't think it would do good, just to be straight up honest, but just a hangout place, more or less. Like, there's nothing for people to do here in my county. Like,
That's why you just open a bar.
Well, we literally just last year went wet. We used to be moist. Half of the county could sell alcohol, half couldn't. So they went wet this year. There's been some bars open up. The place that was already wet has opened up bars, and it's actually probably the more of a dying place than the others. So can't really say the bars are helping us too much. Of course, I'm against drinking. That's just me. But so what I've been thinking about doing is open up a card shop only on like the weekends where people can come in, just more or less hang out, look at some cards, do a lot of breaks. I've got some of these boxes that are starting to pile up here at my house. Thought about maybe doing some live breaks, start like a YouTube channel of just doing that. And then also what I would really like to do is have a bunch of TVs in the building and like just have games going constantly where people can actually come here to watch games with friends. There's not really any place really to hang out where I'm at. And also I'd like to open up a little small grill in there, I think. Just, wings, fries, sit down.
So a restaurant.
Kinda, but not so formal. Like not so much sit down at like dinner tables, but like have a bunch of couches out with a end table where you can just have some food to eat. That's what I'm thinking. I don't want it to be a restaurant because that would not just be like a Saturday, Sunday opening a few hours. That would be something more serious. And I don't want to get into that. This is just more or less a hobby for me that I would like to do.
Interesting development.
Yes. So
I'll fly out one night.
There we go. Have you broke what you're doing now? Your other job yet? I can't remember if you talked about that last time or not.
I haven't on this show. I don't
Okay,
believe. I
it is
have on
time.
everything else and on Twitter. But yeah, so your boy going to work for the Renegades. Actually, no, I think I did. Because then you kept telling me that I had to get people on the show. But whatever. I don't know if that was
That's
you
true.
saying you hope I hope I got it or that if I did get it. But
You know
whatever.
what?
Maybe if you
It's
missed the
okay
last
to break it
episode.
again. Okay.
Exactly. If you missed the last episode, I'm going to work for the local single A team over here, Hudson Valley Renegades. Go look them up if you
Mhm.
feel like it. They are the Yankee single A high single A team. So I'm very excited about that. I'm gonna be part of their production crew, meaning I'm gonna do some camera work for them. Replay, stuff. Kind of behind the scenes and everything like that. They do have like a pre and post game show, which I didn't even know about because I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't really like watched them. I did go to a lot of their games though when I was younger. We used to go a lot because it's only like a half hour from me, and of course it's a single A team, so tickets are like $3. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. Starts up in April, so obviously got a nice little baseball show here. Working with some baseball players. Maybe make a couple relationships, maybe have a couple people on the show.
Nice.
We're gonna hope and see how things go. Now, obviously, your boy is not gonna get fired trying to get people on the show, but I'll see what I can do.
I think you will not get fired, and you will excel at it, and you will be phenomenal, and we'll get some cool people on the show.
You know what? I'm hoping so. At least I am absolutely hoping so.
Listen, I'm a great wingman. I've got you. Okay, I've got you.
Oh yeah.
I'm a good hop man too. Like, I don't see who else could be doing this job other than Connie. Connie freaking Conover.
I'm just saying. A lot of people like my shows, and I am the common denominator in them.
Oh my gosh.
So like, I mean, it just has to be true. It has to be the kid. You know what I mean?
Can you really not hear my phone? Is it really not echoing with you?
No, it's not. Why?
Because it is blasting on my side.
Oh no, it's the same for me. Like I can hear my phone clear as day.
Okay, like you last time we did a show, I could turn it completely down and I wouldn't hardly hear it at all. Today
Yeah, no,
it
I don't.
is loud.
Yeah, I feel like that. I feel like that happens. It
Okay.
kind of annoys me that you can't turn it down like to mute. Like I don't understand why that's not a possible thing. But
Shout out
whatever.
Colorcast. Let us be able to mic our
Yeah,
speakers.
Colorcast, a little suggestion. I'm just saying, just trying to help the kids out.
But I guess if we're having a co-host on there, I would need to hear you through their app. They're probably just not thinking of other platforms using this. So I mean, it kind of makes sense.
You're not wrong. You're
I
not
know I'm
wrong.
not wrong. I know I'm pretty smart.
I wouldn't go that far. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Oh, see, now I hear myself.
Nothing changed.
You didn't move your phone at all.
No.
See,
I'm playing with my burner phone.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
No, this one I have muted. I have it muted.
Oh, then I have no idea. Yeah. Whatever, Michael. We're gonna do
Yes,
some.
sir.
We're gonna do another top 10 again because, of course, we are. We're gonna do top 10s until we get through all the positions. And today, Mikey picked. We're going with the pitchers. So, Michael, how about you? Since you're the one that decided on the list, why don't you go first?
10 through 6, correct?
Sure, why not?
You know what? Let's just do 10 through 7, and then we'll switch. We'll do back and forth a little bit, okay? Because we always just have to defend our answers.
No, we'll do 10 through 6, and then you say 5, I'll say 5. You say 4,
okay.
I'll say 4. Okay.
All right, number 10, I have Sandy Alcantara. Did I say that right?
Alcantara.
Good. Number 9, I have Lucas
Giolito.
Yes. Number 8, I have Shane Bieber. I'm hesitant on here because I don't really know where to place him. He was hurt a little bit. Past 2 years has pitched good. So I have him back because I want to be conservative here. At 7, I have Brandon Woodruff. Number 6, I've got Zach Wheeler. Bam. You can't be upset with that list. Don't you dare, because that's a good
I'm
list.
not. In fact, at my number 10 spot, I have Sandy Alcantara as well.
See, he was actually my reach guy. I did a couple of things of research there, and they usually had him about 13 or 14. I seen one I had him at 17. But I'm really high on him this year, and you've got to put somebody in there that can be a little controversial, if you will. And
Yeah,
the 10th
he
spot
was he was on the border for me. I thought about him. I kind of wanted to respect the elders. I almost put Verlander on the list. I don't have him on the list.
I wanted to as well, but he's not pitched in 2 years.
Yeah, so I didn't put Verlander on. I was going to get a little personal and put Jack Flaherty on because I think he's really good. He just got hurt last year.
Excuse me.
And I picked him for the Cy Young last year, but he got hurt, so that obviously didn't work out too well.
Right.
But no, I went with Sandy Alcantara. He's lower on my list, but I have Brandon Woodruff at 9.
You have him at 9?
I mean,
okay.
At 9. What did you had him at like 7?
I had him at 7 or 6, and I have him at 7. I really wanted him higher, but I wanted to change up some stuff. A lot of researchers or a lot of top 10s had him like 5 and 4 or something. I was like, I'm gonna back him off just a little bit. So that
I don't know. Whatever.
But again, it's your list. It's your list.
I got Kevin Gausman at 8.
Okay, that's fair.
I have Mr. Robbie Ray at 7.
Wow, that's your reach. I had him at 10 just because I wanted to put him on there because he's a Blue Jay. But the more and more I talked about
Cy Young last year, I feel like I had to have him on here. So
yes, and I mean he went to the Mariners, who really do good with their pitchers, anyways. But I do not have him on my list because it was one good year. We talk about this quite a bit.
That's true.
It was one good year.
It made me, a little pause for a little bit, but I felt like if I didn't put him on the list, everybody would attack me.
Well, they can attack me because
it is definitely it's fair in my eyes. I mean, you win a Cy Young, I feel like you got to be on next year's top 10 list at least.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at you on it. I actually think it's a little more respect for me because you hear me talk good about the Blue Jays and made him more aware in your head. Is why you put him on the list.
I watch the Blue Jays like 20 times a year because they play the Yankees. I know who Robbie Ray is.
I know, but you didn't respect him nearly as much as I do, and now you do.
Now this, and then number 6, I have Corbin Burns
at 6.
I do.
Okay, I'm interested to see the rest of your list. So keep on going. Do your 5, or you want me to do 5?
See, for my 5, I have Zach Wheeler. In my eyes, who should have won the Cy Young over Corbin Burns last year.
Okay. I have him at 6, and at 5, I've got Walker Buehler.
Okay, I have Walker Buehler at 4.
At 4? Well, see, it's hard for me to put him up higher in anyone. I like Buehler. He's the guy I actually thought would win the Cy Young last year. I'm rooting for him again this year on that. But at 4, I've got Max, who is a solid pitcher, and there's so many more up here that's even like so well respected. And Burns, and I haven't said him, but obviously he's on this list. I don't see how you could have put him any higher. But anyways, carry on. Who's your 4 again?
My 4 was Walker Buehler.
Okay, who's your 3?
I have Max at 3.
Max at 3. I've got Garrett Cole at 3.
Okay, I have Cole at 2.
Okay, well, I have Corbin Burns at 2, and number 1, we say it together. Jacob DeGrom.
Of course.
What if I said
smart gentleman?
Sonny Gray. At first when I made this list, I did not have DeGrom number 1 just because of where he was hurt last year. What's he going to be like when he comes back? But when I did finished out the top 10, I was like, okay, I can't present a list here and not have DeGrom number 1 compared to what he does when he pitches. So I backed up, and I had to go with it and put him there.
Yeah, for me, it was more of the fact that, like I know he didn't pitch a lot last year, obviously. I mean, we all know that. We watched baseball. Michael, your phone is so loud.
See? But it wasn't earlier, but now it is.
Try moving it a little bit further away.
But I've got to let it hear me.
Trust me, we hear you loud and clear.
Oh, what's that supposed to mean?
I can just hear you loud and clear. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But
it's way over there now.
Hello. Oh, perfect. I don't hear myself anymore.
I can hear you in my ears and over there, and it's annoying. Let me just tell you.
Listen, I hear you in my ears and then on my phone too. You think I want to hear you twice?
Connie, I don't have a cow now.
I know. I do know that. I
I'm,
remember you said that in the group chat.
I'm a little upset, but at the same time, I'm happy because Daddy made a little bit of a bank on that. Let's just say that. So we're doing good.
Let's see. Like you have cows, I have NFTs.
Well, I don't have cows now. I sold it.
What happens?
I said I don't have a cow now. I sold it.
Well, you know what I meant.
I know.
But no, yeah, for me, DeGrom, it was just the fact that
his dominance.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, he didn't pitch a lot last year, but when he did, what was it? I don't know. There was like a certain amount of strikeouts in a row that he had at one point.
He had a higher ERA as a batter than he did as giving up runs.
Yeah, he had more RBIs than earned runs.
Oh yeah, not ERAs, RBIs than Yeah, you know what I meant.
Of course. Well, don't worry, Michael. I just had to correct it a little bit.
Just a tweak,
as I usually have to do with Michael on the show. I mean, you guys see what I'm working with here? You see what I'm working with here?
Genius.
I mean, you want to talk about a strong word, but no. I mean, DeGrom is unbelievable. I think he's going to come back and be perfectly fine. Hopefully, at least. It's kind of weird because last year, when he was hurt, it was the fact that they couldn't really find anything wrong with him. Which obviously doesn't really make sense. You're supposed to have, all these great people, MRIs and all this, and every single test you could possibly really want. See, now I hear myself again.
Oh my goodness, you're killing me, Smalls. Come on.
No, Michael, you're killing me. Do you hear yourself from my phone?
I do not. I can't lie. I'm sorry,
Michael. Hey, here we go. You know what I think you did. Did you turn your volume down with the buttons on your phone?
I did that and on the.
Oh, see, never mind then. I have no idea. You must have the extra loud phone.
Now speak.
How we feeling today?
Oh, still there.
See, but I didn't hear you. I didn't hear myself there.
How? It's right here by it.
I don't know. Maybe something changed. Hello? I didn't even hear myself. Oh, now I did. That time I did.
Sounds annoying, don't it? Let me tell you. Sheesh.
Only because I can hear myself twice. If it was just my one voice one time, it'd sound fantastic because, well, I'm fantastic at this. But Michael, I like our list. I don't think there's too much to say on either one of ours. I think that I think this is the first one that we've both.
I would say yours was a little more questionable than mine, but that's okay because the people you put in there were respected enough to be in that, so it's all good. But my list was definitely better. It's okay.
I mean, if it helps you sleep at night, you don't even have the Cy Young winner last year on the list with Robbie Ray.
Nope.
Your big Mr. Big Blue Jay guy doesn't have the Blue Jay on his list, but
he's not a Blue Jay
Bo Bichette. But yet, Bo
he's not a Blue Jay anymore.
I don't care. He was. You should have supported him.
No, I mean I'm a Reds fan. I just like the Blue Jays.
Oh, I don't think you are with the way you talk about the Blue Jays. I think you're a Blue Jay fan.
That would probably be my AL team.
Michael, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Was it? Well, what are you talking about? Let's transition into this.
Michael,
what do you mean?
See, that's
don't have to worry
that's
about
the
anymore?
Main point of this episode, right?
The good news
that it's called good news, and it's the fact that Rob Manfred. So he came out today, kind of had a State of the Union MLB edition, kind of like what the commissioners do every year. I mean, I think Roger Goodell just had his. Manfred obviously had his today, and finally, I mean, I guess I should say finally for the people that wanted it, and I guess a sad day for the people that didn't want it. I mean, if you didn't want it, I think you're kind of weird anyway. But there is now a universal DH in the MLB.
Yes. Yay.
Whoa.
That's coming from a guy who pre-2020 was against it. I did not think that a universal DH was smart. I didn't like it, and I did not want to do it at all. But after having the 60-game season with 9 good batters batting the whole time, I was like, okay, This makes it a little more interesting. Now you don't have that easy out to give up every time like you always do. There's so many times I feel like the Reds would have a runner on third or second base with 1 or 2 outs, and somehow the batter or the next batter would be the pitcher and lay down a bunt or something, somehow turn a double play on it and enter a chance to score late in the game. It was just always happening. So I'm happy. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Let me just say this. I'm going to give it its chance and see how we do with it.
Michael, look, we got the perfect thing. The major question in sports this year is Castellanos hits the D fly ball to left field and puts the Reds up 4-0.
What I love about that, Sage, is that you said Castellanos and Reds together. Like, I hope he stays a Red. I don't think it happens, but I hope he stays a Red. The dude, just his attitude, his personality is very contagious, and you could tell that the team fed off of his determination, his desire to play baseball. So I really hope he stays a Red.
But, for the universal DH for me, it's simple. Like, I've been an AL fan my entire life, so it's never really affected me other than watching the Yankees go play an NL team. And I've said this before, and I can say it again, but I can kind of say it for the last time since it's DH is everywhere now. I have no idea how people watch the NL. Like, how do you sit there and actually say that you want pitchers to hit? And I get
when you grow up,
the strategy. It's so fun. How is the what is so cool about the strategy of a double switch? Does anybody watch a baseball game to watch a double switch? No. Not one person has ever turned a baseball game on saying, "Oh my God, I hope there's a double switch today."
I mean, okay. If you ever go fishing and then you went to the same spot every time to fish,
fishing one time, by the way,
it kills me. I can't believe that. Like, how are we even friends on this? But anyways, if you keep going to the same hole every time to fish, and it's not a very big hole, and the fish are 6 to 10 inches every time in there, that's what you're used to. That's the only thing you think a fish is. But when you go to somewhere else and fish in a much bigger hole, and I'm not being sexual on this at all, Connie, quit that. I see that little smirk you had there. And you fish a bigger
I didn't even say nothing. Michael has a dirty mind.
And all of a sudden you catch this fish that's 12 inches long or one that's 20 inches long. You're thinking, oh, wow, there's a whole new world that I never knew existed. And I was totally fine with the 6 to 12 inches fish because that's all I ever caught. But now that I see something new, I want to fish it more. So when you're grown up in L and that's all you see, you're okay with it. You like that because you love the game. But now that we are exposed to it and we had a season with it, I actually asked one of my buddies, he writes for the Sea of Blue, it's a Kentucky news articles, podcast and everything. He put something on Facebook, a post saying that the only thing that he will die up on that hill is a universal DH. He doesn't want it at all. Last minute, I asked him if he'd come on the show and just kind of talk about it with us, but he said he'd love to, but he couldn't today. So maybe we'll have him on another day, just hear from another side why they want to keep it. Because, again, Reds fan my whole life, NL dedicated to, love the switch, the double switch, the pitcher doing whatever you can. I used to love it, but now I like the universal DH, and I'm excited for it. Like, that's a move to me in the right direction for this.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too. Like, the people of NL teams, like, you should be happy. Like, your team is literally better now.
And here's my thing. Like, if you really want to have a pitcher hit because that's what you float your boat, you can still have him hit. Like, he can be your DH. I don't know why you would waste that on there, but you could have him DH if that's what you really wanted to do. Be a waste of an out, but you could do it.
Yeah, and like I said, it just makes your team is officially better without you even doing anything. And like this also solves a lot of problems.
Shut up.
Why?
Just shut up. Thank you, Christian, for calling us young goats. First of all, thank you for calling me young. And then the goat. Okay, carry on.
First of all, Christian's out here lying. I mean, I'm young. Michael's
And
about
you're
65.
young and I'm the goat. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, imagine that. Michael, by the way, that analogy you used with the fishing, that was top 5 country things I've ever heard in my life. Nobody
Thank you.
outside of some random country person would ever use fishing as an analogy. Nobody.
But did it make sense?
Well, yeah, after you got
Okay.
past the
Who cares?
visualization of 6 inches in holes, it made sense.
Whoa, now easy there. I know it's been a
Uh,
while, probably since
Listen, Michael, I'm just using your analogy.
yeah,
You're the one that said it.
I know. You know what's wrong
Michael's
with men?
used to 6
Oh,
apparently.
never mind. I'm not going to.
Just-
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, we can tell with that haircut that you're used to 12 or 10 at least. So, let's carry on.
Listen, Michael, my hair looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You're balding.
I am not balding. Look,
Perfect.
get some.
Why? I can see the U shape on the forehead right now.
Oh no, man!
If you can even call that 4. I'm going more of a 5 or 6. Just,
Man!
it's
fair. It's fair.
I'm just,
it's fair.
Easter Island. You and Easter Island got a lot.
That's okay. I'm glad that your glasses allow you to see that on my head. That's it's cool.
Imagine making a glasses joke.
A little bit of a beard. It's all good. It's all good. Nothing but love,
fine.
Connie.
That's fine.
Hey, speaking of which, of all this hate that we got going on right now, were we happy with what Manfred said in his speech today? Like,
I was going to get to. Oh wait, well, before I get to that, actually, Michael, I also the second thing that they announced was the draft lottery.
Yes, I did not get to see more about that. Can you tell me more on that? Because I've seen draft lottery. I'm assuming that they're basically mimicking the NBA draft.
I haven't read like the full thing either. I didn't get to watch his press conference. I was at work, but I did see that as well, that they're going to institute a draft lottery, and I would assume it's going to be more of like the NBA, which makes me happy because in a way, I don't think it takes tanking away, obviously, which is what the players want, and I mean, I guess I want. But I think it does do something, because now if you're the worst team in the league, it's not like you can be like, okay, we're 100% getting the first pick. And,
right.
Maybe you try a little bit more knowing that you're not just guaranteed the number 1 pick all the time. So I like the draft lottery. I can see if I can find some more stuff on it. But I would assume, like you said, it's going to kind of be like the exact same thing. MLB draft lottery. Let's take a gander here. But yeah, like you said, Manfred's speech, the other stuff he said as well. Oh, actually, that was the other thing too. So you remember they were trying to do the universal DH, but the owners also wanted like draft choice compensation for having it. They didn't end up doing that, so that's kind of why it actually got passed through, because they went without it. Then they also said, and I think this is all he said, so I don't know if there really is any more details on it. He said, quote, "We've agreed to institute a draft lottery to address the players concerned about clubs not competing." And then it just says, "This idea has been tossed around public conversation for a while now. The NBA already does things this way, so there's a precedent for it, blah, blah, blah. The details of how the lottery will work aren't yet known, but it's there in some form." So there's that. He also said, "We'd like to expand the playoffs," which we've all known going into this. And then
owners.
And this is the part that I think that you're probably talking about. He said, I just lost it. Oh, there we go. "I'm an optimist, and I believe we will have an agreement in time to play our regular schedule." He also later said that missing games would be, quote, "a disaster." How do you feel?
I hear him, but it is February 10th, and there's no deal.
Yeah.
There's not going to be. There's going to be games, I think, but it's not going to be when it's scheduled on the first week. I think we're already 1 to 2 weeks past opening day. Because I want to say I seen on MLB, the network, say that pitchers and catchers need a full month to get ready, and they usually report around the end of May or end of February, and we're still not even looking like we're close to an agreement here. So I don't think it's going to work.
I don't know. It's tough because I think that they can go without the full month. Obviously, that's what you want, and maybe the players would be, kind of annoyed about it. But at the end of the day, I think they both recognize that it'd probably be better for them to just get on with the season. To me, if you get a deal, oh man, I cautiously optimistic, right? I think if you got a deal done by like even March. I think the first game of the season is like the 30th or the 31st. If you got it done by like March 7th, you're giving yourself 3 weeks.
In that episode I was watching, they said fielding and batting 3 weeks is good enough. But they said pitchers need every bit of 4 weeks, if not more. So that's my problem on it.
But here's the other thing too, and this is where maybe I'll go anti-player for a second.
Okay.
If you're a pitcher, what are you really doing at the stadium that you can't be doing by yourself? You need 4 weeks to warm up or whatever. Okay, start a throwing program at home. You've been doing it for how many years? You don't know what to do by now? Pitchers are pitchers are creatures of routine. I mean, there's stories of pitchers coming out of the bullpen 2 minutes late and having and freaking out because their actual routine got messed up and things of that nature. So you're telling me that you don't know how to do a throwing routine and you're in the MLB by now? Come on.
I would 100% disagree with you on that. Just for the fact that they do take some time off. They're doing something, but coaches, pitching coaches, they're all there trying to tweak stuff. Even when we had TJ and Tone on during the whole spring training, they talked about how they were wanting to implement a new pitch for him. He had the changeup, he had the fastball. I can't remember what it was. He did a slider as well, but it was something else. I can't remember what his pitch that he was wanting to break last year before he got hurt. And he said, all spring training, they were working on that pitch while they were doing their others, but he never did break that pitch out. So my only thing that I'll be hesitant on is you've got your mechanics, and if everything is not going as extreme to par, your coach should be in there with you, say, hey, this is our plan. This is what we want to do. This is our stats of what you've got. This is what's going on from last year. This is what we're going to be facing this year. Let's try to get a plan going on for this and actually see a future here. If you're a pitcher at home, I mean, honestly, I know you said anti-pitcher, but if I'm a player, why should I work on that on my own personal time and not be paid for what I'm doing? That's why we're in this locker league. I mean, I'm going to take care of my health and stay in shape, but I mean, that's why they have the off season is to get.
Yeah, they've had the off season for how long now? The season ended in October.
No, I'm saying spring training off season. Like they have the spring training to get back trained. It's not in my personal time. Like we talk about baseball being year round. I mean, it's pretty much is year round. They need some time to say, hey, I'm stepping away and actually being with my family some, to ask for them to do it on their own free time. To me, it's almost a slap in the face. Like that's why we have our team and have our spring training to do this. And I'm paid to be there for that. Now you're asking me not to do this when we don't, or to do this on my own when we don't even have contracts to when this is going to work and be final. Wow. Why would I do that?
Yeah, but I'm not asking you to do that in December or January. I'm telling you to do that now. So if you came to an agreement, you would already be at the point you would be at anyway.
Okay, I'm already mad at you because you're not. I'm saying you're the owners. I'm mad at you because our agreements here and on what I want as a player, what you want as an owner are different. So why would I say, okay, I'm going to work this on my own because it's for the best of the team that we don't agree with on anyways how it's ran.
Yeah, but it's also the best for your sport.
So you're telling me you would already be trying to tune up yourself for what the coach is supposed to be doing here when you go into spring training? Like, why have a spring training?
I would be doing it anyway.
So why have a spring training? Why not just open up the season then? Like, why would we ever have a spring training?
Okay, but I'm saying this is a different situation. Obviously, there isn't a spring training to have at the moment, but you would be doing it anyway if there was a spring training. So why wouldn't you
But
just do it now in case they came to an agreement so you could start the season on time? Because then, if they come to an agreement and all of a sudden the players aren't ready to play after crying and complaining about not having a new deal, and then you're like, oh wait, I need 4 weeks to warm up, then it looks bad on you as well because everybody looks at you and said you weren't
absolutely
prepared.
not.
It's been 4 weeks.
No, every year I have 4 weeks to get ready before the first game. Every year. Now, this year, because we couldn't agree, I should do that on my own. No, they will expect to have those
Yes.
4 weeks. They will expect to have those 4 weeks. Like, there's no reason they shouldn't. Every sport gives you a time in training before the season starts as a team to train. So,
So you should
because,
never train. So you should never train ever if you're not being paid for it.
oh, now, what do you mean? Because I do think you take care of yourself. There is rest time, and then
So
you get
no
back in.
pitcher should ever throw during the off season,
I'm not saying every pitcher should never throw during the offseason. I'm saying
but they're not
what
being
I'm
paid. Why
supposed
would
to
they
be.
do it?
I'm saying that I should not be considered to lose my 4 weeks of where we're toning in everything, seeing what pitches I should be doing my research that the coaches usually prepare for me of what they expect of me this year, and prepare that way and not be paid for it. Like, yes, when I come to training camp, I should be top shape, ready to go, and ready to play. But you have to have the time where you're getting your mechanisms, your everything set right. Okay, you're coming off the mound too far here. Got to get back in your routine. Because if you're asking me to do this myself, which granted they're professional athletes and they know what they're doing, coaches are still there to tweak some stuff that they're not doing right. So you're telling me to train myself and hope that I'm doing it right when I could be doing the smallest thing wrong. I want to say one of the pitchers for the Reds, can't remember, was coming straight towards home plate on his step on his delivery. And to tweak his command, they had him step off of the plate just a little bit towards the right, and it made his arm come open more, and he was more accurate that way. So if I'm doing it what it should be doing, step forward for these 4 weeks, because I think that's what I'm supposed to be doing, and now it's time to play the first game, and now the coach is like, whoa, we've got to go back 4 weeks and undo everything that you've been trained to do wrong and make it right now in season.
Yeah, but that's also not what spring training is for.
What's spring training for?
Spring training is to build yourself back up to a point where you can play. It's not to fix everything that you've been doing wrong. They do that during the season.
No, they also do it in the offseason as well. We talked about it just a few minutes ago with TJ and Tone when I was saying they were trying to develop new pitches and
Yeah, a
tell
new
him,
pitch. That's not
okay,
building your arm up to a point where you can play.
are you saying strength?
Yes.
Like build up the strength? No, they should be coming to spring training with their strength.
Okay, but
I'm
the
saying their
reason it
mechanism.
takes pitchers 4 weeks is because they're trying to build their arm back up to a point where they can throw how they want to throw, because some of them haven't thrown in 5 months. So you're not going to just all of a sudden go from not pitching since September to trying to throw 100 again. The first week, maybe they're throwing 85, and then they
Right.
93, and then
Right.
96. That's what spring
Right.
training is for. That's what I'm saying you should be doing now. I mean, I understand the whole, oh, well, maybe
If
my
you're not for the
mechanics are bad.
players
Now
here.
we're going to have to fix it. But that happens throughout the year as well. I've seen it plenty of times where a Yankee
Right.
pitcher is doing
It's
something wrong,
continual.
and then they go to the pitching coach and try and fix it during the year. It's not like
Right.
it only happens in spring training, then the regular season starts, and they're like, you know what? You should have figured it out in spring training.
Okay.
Good luck.
Do you think yourself, if you were trying to spring train yourself, if you will, that you would start off and be on a pitch count of saying, let me just throw 85% or 85 miles per hour to build up strength, and then, okay, I'm going to slowly, gradually increase my speed on this and my power? Or do you think you just go out there and say, well, I'm free balling it anyway, so I'm just going to throw as hard as I can and I'll rest? Like, I mean, you have no guidance on what is best for your body. Like, I'm bringing in Trevor Bauer because we can finally talk about him a little bit here. Like, he has on his YouTube channels of he has in-depth data about the way he trains makes him better compared to what he used to have to do. Like, he would rather do 4 days rest and pitching, or 3 days rest and pitch again on the 4th day instead of the 5th day, because the data that he's obtained through his group will say that he knows now that he's better that way. You're asking some of these players, these rookies, these young contracts that still are learning how to play, the minors that are just getting an opportunity, they don't know how to get themselves ready. Like there's a lot of these players that are invited to spring training just to even see if they can make the roster. How are you going to have those go in? Like you think they know how to train themselves to be ready for an MLB game that's never seen it before?
Well, first of all, even if they're a rookie in that year, that also means they've gone through college, triple, the minor league system. So it's not like you're taking somebody from middle school or high school and then all of a sudden being like, all right, I want you to train like an MLB player. They've been being trained as MLB professionals for probably 3 years by then.
So you don't think the transition from college to MLB is that drastic?
It is, but what players going from college to the MLB and skipping AAA, single A, double A?
I agree.
Okay, exactly. They've been trained all the way through that as well.
I am just amazed that you are really against the players on this. It really baffles me.
No. I'm saying.
I mean, this is fun banter that we got going on here. Don't get me wrong. But
if the reason they can't start on time is because they need a month spring training instead of 2 or 3 weeks, then it's on them.
I don't think so at all. Like it's always been that way. So it blows my mind that you think it should.
Half of these dudes don't even try in spring training.
In the games, absolutely not. They could care less. Like they're getting their forms down. They don't care if they win or not. They're trying to bat balls a certain way that they want to.
So if they don't care during the game, why should we care if it's being played?
The games, I don't think they really matter. Like, don't play any of the preseason games or the spring training games. Just work on training, and then let's play. Like, these players don't even know the signs.
Themselves anyway. Half of these dudes.
Listen,
what's his name? Oh my God, what's his name? He was on the Rockies. He came to the Yankees.
Johnny
sucked, and then he went to the Red Sox this year. He said he could strike out Babe Ruth. Oh my God. No, this is gonna annoy me. I have to look it up.
Anyways, let's get to the point on
it. He has a freaking lab that he built basically of telling him what to do and what not to do. Like these guys are going to be just fine. I don't think that they need. Now, is the coaching and everything going to help? Well, obviously, nobody's saying that. They all of a sudden never need to hear somebody coach them again. But I'm saying if the reason that they can't start on time is because they come to an agreement and then all of a sudden all the players are like, oh, well, we didn't get our full month because we were just sitting around doing nothing, then that's bad on them.
Well, just I don't think they're that would be literally like sitting around doing nothing.
That would be like if they came to an agreement and then all of a sudden the owners were like, well, listen, we weren't, getting the stadiums ready because we didn't know when the season was going to start. I have to plant grass still. I got to get, concessions still. I got to hire some people. You would kill the owners if they did that.
I don't know. That might be a problem too. Come think about it.
That wouldn't be a problem.
No, I'm saying that may be a problem. Like, you got to think staffing for the concessions, background checks and do the whole training on that. I mean, that could be a situation too. Never thought about.
I highly doubt that happens.
I don't know. I mean, some of these ballparks have other things going on that those staff were probably already hired at. But I'm still, like, I'm going to back up. I am baffled that you think that these pitchers...
Automatavino. That's who it was.
Automatopia.
I mean, hey, if you say so.
But I think that these players will demand to have 3 to 4 weeks before the first game.
If you give them 3 weeks, like I said, March 7th, the first game is probably like the 31st, 30th, or whatever, then you should be able to play. You should be good. That's 3 weeks.
How long is spring training?
I have no idea. I thought pitchers and catchers usually reported like the last week of February, or like the last 2, like week and a half, 2 weeks of February, and then the players followed like in March.
So here, every year, a little ritual known as the spring training makes the way for Scottsdale and the Valley, the Sun, bringing 15 teams, 200 games, 10 stadiums in the span of 30 days. So 30 days of games.
So?
Let's see. I want to say it's usually Valentine's weekend when they report, though, the pitchers and catchers.
I mean, when do pitchers...
February 15th. That's right. Okay. So pitchers are supposed to report in 5 days.
Well, obviously that ain't going to happen.
Exactly. There is growing concern. So, yeah. Everyone, 15th spring training. There's some that are reporting on the 20th and 21st. Go figure. And I'm trying to find when
they should be fine.
So when's the first spring training? Okay, first workout. Position players.
This is also the worst part of the lockout. Like, you literally can't look anything up.
No, like it's saying to be determined or to be announced. Like, it's crazy.
And like, not even that. Like, you look up, like, obviously me and you, we do these lists and stuff, but no, we don't know everything off the top of our head. So, we got to look up some old data, maybe look at some other lists and things like that. Nothing. Everything is only fantasy because that's the only thing they can write about. But what doesn't make sense to me is, like, I don't get why news stations and stuff can't write about the MLB. Because it's not like they're not collectively bargained with them. So, like, why can't a CBS or a ESPN or whatever make a top 10 list of current players?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not like they own their name, image, and likeness or whatever. I don't know. Kind of weird to me, if you ask me. But, Michael, here we go.
I did see Buster Olney come out with a list on pitchers today on ESPN, but it wouldn't show you anything.
Michael, I'm watching the NFL Honors right now. There's a commercial for ESPN right now. There's a 6-part Derek Jeter documentary coming out soon.
Oh, my goodness.
It's supposed to be like the Last Dance version. I can't wait. A nice Derek Jeter doc. We all need that in our world, in our life. How do you not like Derek Jeter? Not even possible. Great guy.
Do you think Derek Jeter is the greatest shortstop of all time?
No. He's definitely top 5, to say the least. I think you get, and I mean, he was the worst defender ever thing is so overrated. So overrated.
Was he a really good defender, though?
I'm not saying he was really good, but the worst defender, like the worst ever shortstop, like defensively, BS. Mm-hmm. That's just what the haters say because, he's a Yankee. Typical. I would hate them too if I wasn't a fan. All that success.
Okay, I'm just looking through here, and it shows of last year, I think it is, that February 25th is when the first Expedition game started. And they reported 10 days before then. Pitchers did 15th. So in 10 days, they were playing baseball games, Expedition games. And the first game was March 31st. So you're looking at over a month there. Actually, almost month and a half before the first game.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that they would shorten spring training games a little bit to try to get this going faster, but I still think it's going to be at least a month. At least a month. 1 month.
And here's my thing, though. I wonder how far they can push the season back without losing games. Because, like, I wonder if, say, like, some miracle happens, right? They come to an agreement on, like, March 7th, like I'm saying. And the players are like, nah, we need exactly a month. So the first game wouldn't be allowed until April 7th. Like, can they push do they push the full season back at that point? Or is it like, okay, well, technically now we can't play 5 games or 6 games or something like that? Like, I wonder at what point they lose games and how many.
I don't know, because you think they'll probably push some games back and they'll just do double headers to get the whole games in so that they can get their money and a whole like that. And then they'll probably go with the double headers and doing 7-inning double header games, which we didn't really like too much. And then when there's the shutout or the complete game or a no hitter in 7 innings, do we have the conversation? Is this really considered a no hitter when it's only?
By the way, it is
21 outs. It's 21 outs when it should be like 27 outs. But, it's considered a game, so it's considered a game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, did you think that Madison Bumgarner last year threw a no-hitter?
I mean, if it went in the books as a no-hitter, then yes, but I do think it, kind of have to be at least an asterisk to say, hey, this was a 7-inning game.
Yeah, like I don't even got a problem with that either. Like, if you want to say, but I feel like you have to give them the no-hitter, and then, like you said, maybe put a little something right there, said it happened in the 7-inning game. Mm-hmm. And then, let the people determine how they feel about it after that. But to say it like 100% was still stupid to me.
Yeah, I mean, it is easier, but I still don't see too many people pitching a no-hitter in 7 innings. So, I mean, it's still a great defeat. Great defeat.
Because, like, here's the thing. Is it technically a no-hitter if, like, in a 9-inning game? What if it's the 8th inning and the game gets rained out?
Right. It's still a no-hitter.
Like, if you don't give up any hits during the course of a game, it's a no-hitter. 7 innings, 5 innings, whatever it is. Like, if a game is officially
let's just go with this. If it went 18 innings and the same pitcher pitched all 18 innings, it wouldn't be a 2 no-hitter. It'd just be 1. Like, when the game ends, it's a no-hitter. So 6 innings, 5 innings, 7 innings, 30 innings, it's a no-hitter. Granted, that would be crazy to pitch an 18-inning game.
The craziest part is that's probably what they were doing in the 1900s.
Yes.
Like, that's why all those pitchers have, 750 innings pitched for a year, which doesn't even make sense. Because I'm pretty sure they used to only play 150. I don't even think they played the 162. So that means they were technically, they were that's so
162?
Wild to me.
Why 162?
Well, that's why 81 home, 81 away.
Okay, why not 80 home, 80 away?
Well, and see, now you're just talking to the wrong guy, Michael.
I mean, but really, why 160? Let's make it 2.
Michael, that I can't explain to you. I'm a very smart man. That one I don't have an answer for. But I think the thing that me and you both do agree on is what Manfred said, that it would be a disaster if they miss games. And I think listen, at the end of the day, if it's the player's fault, if it's the owner's fault, if it's this person or that person, whatever, missing games is what you can't do.
Exactly.
And the thing is, usually there's, I said it earlier, when the lockout first started, that it was kind of more of a 3-way debate than anything else, because it was the players versus the owners. And then it was also the owners versus the owners, because like I said, the Yankee owner doesn't want the same thing that, somebody like the Rays want. Obviously the Yankees can spend money. The Rays probably aren't going to spend that much money. So the Yankees probably don't want the salary cap. And then the Rays are like, oh, well, we want that. And then they don't want the salary floor, because then that means the Rays would have to spend more money. And the Yankees are probably like, yeah, why not? So it's, that internal battle as well. But the missing games thing just has to be the worst outcome. And that's the thing too. Apparently the players are very united. Like, you see all these tweets coming out. I remember I saw Aaron Judge tweet about it. I saw, Max Scherzer tweet about it. Yeah. That I guess they had a meeting or something, and over 100 players came out, to the meeting to show up for the players. So,
oh yeah,
listen, they're united. And for the NFL, I'm watching the NFL Honors Awards right now. You know what I mean? But for the MLB, that might be a scary thing because I'm sure they're probably used to like internal fighting in the players as well. But for all of them to be united like that, over 100 players to come out to a meeting, that's got to be a scary thing for the MLB. But listen, I just don't want them to miss games. And Rob Manfred came out and said, "Oh yeah, well I'm an optimist, so blah blah blah." And this is the weird situation where I almost didn't want him to talk instead, because now if he came out and said, "Oh yeah, we're not going to start on time," then you'd be like, "You're a disgrace." Now he says he's an optimist and that he still has faith, and then if it doesn't happen, it's like you lied to us. So in this situation, I would have almost rather him been like, we're taking it day by day. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get it done. Like that's what I would have preferred in a way. Well, actually, maybe not. All right, let me not even say it like that. Maybe not even preferred, but for his sake, he better hope that they get it done now because he was the one that came out and said that he's optimistic.
I think it's fine either way because honestly, I feel like that's what he has to say is, "Hey, I think we can get this thing done," because it shows, a positive reinforcement, if you will, on that. If he came out and been more like it's day to day, I think it puts more panic in everyone. So, I mean, if he's wrong, we already hate him anyways. Who cares, But if he's right, be like, okay, well, maybe he knew what he was talking about a little bit there. So, okay, he got things done. Maybe this guy is okay. But he's not. He needs to go. King Griffey Jr. needs to be the commissioner.
And now this. There's some other things that Manfred said as well. Just looking at this. Apparently, he said that
you pull up the clip, just let it play.
I don't think that's allowed.
That's probably not.
You're right. I believe that's copyright.
You're probably right there. Man, you're so smart.
Well, but let's see. He said that's why we've proposed significantly increased minimum salaries. Just reading this article says, unless something has changed since the last update, this is mathematically false. They have proposed an incremental increase that doesn't even keep up with the recent inflation. So apparently saying significantly, might have lied there. Then he said the federal mediation and conciliation service is there exactly for these types of labor disputes, and we thought it'd be productive given the tightening calendar. The article says no. Calling in the government was a PR move. He also said in the history of baseball, the only person who was made a labor agreement without a dispute, and I did 4 of them, was me. Somehow during those 4 negotiation, players and union representatives trusted me enough to make a deal. Then the person said correlation does not imply causation. So, big words being used these days. And then here was another one that, like, Manfred is stupid sometimes. Like, Michael, explain to me why you would ever. This is almost up there with like calling the World Series trophy a tin can, and like basically saying that baseball is only regional. It's not a national thing. Why would he say this? He said, if you look at the purchase price of franchises, the cash that's put in during the period of ownership, and then what they've sold for, historically, the return of those investments is below what you'd expect to get in the stock market. You're literally saying that your own league's franchises are not worth investing in.
Yeah, I don't.
Who says that?
He just doesn't think.
Where do you get that from, my guy?
Like, I mean, there has to be
have somebody read over.
I was going to say there has to be a PR person or something somewhere that looks at him and says, "Hey, we need to take this part out." Like, does he just read it himself and come up with his own?
Honestly, I hope so. In a way, I hope, because if he's saying that with somebody looking it over, let me tell you something. I could 100% write a better speech. I took a speech writing class. Actually, no, it wasn't speech writing. It was public
speaking.
Yeah, public speaking. We had to write speeches, so
Yes,
anyway.
It's okay. I knew what you meant.
Hold on, I'm trying to find this tweet as well, because I saw somebody. tweet about what he said with the teams.
Mhm.
Oh, also by the way, they're meeting Saturday again. So
Okay.
that's good. Somebody like looked at prices of teams,
Mhm.
and like it was just actually wrong what he said
Oh goodness.
about like investing in the stock market or something.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's just interesting because I don't know why you would ever, for your own team or your own league, be like, listen, if a team ever gets put up for sale, you're kind of dumb. You should just go invest in the stock market. Like that's basically what he just said.
I mean,
Which I also don't understand because I'm pretty sure the Yankees were bought for like $80 million,
hmm,
and they're worth 5.5 billion now.
yeah, I mean that's pretty amazing.
So, and I think the White Sox was bought for like a low million amount, and now it's like 1.7 billion. So I also just I don't know, but that was another quote that I thought I should throw out there because that one, you want to talk about a bold strategy, saying that your own league isn't worth investing in. That's right up there.
The someone needs to have like they need to contact like a Houston Astros with him and like put some kind of device on him when he starts rambling to something crazy. Oh, I need to stay back on track here. No shots fired there. But there was a lot of things that he talked about that I was excited about. The lottery draft and even the universal DH, like we said. So let's just stay on the high notes on this speech. And there's something else. I don't know if I can do this one. Try.
I'm interested
What
now.
I'm excited about, I seen on Twitter today. Boom. This excites me because the college have announced, or ESPN announced, that they will televise over 2,200 NCAA college baseball games on their platforms in 2022. To me, what a perfect time to announce this, because if there's any delays in the MLB, we have something now that we can look forward to that's not really ever been broadcast or advertised very much. So I'm actually very excited about this, almost more than MLB right now, because I don't know if you watched any highlights or any of the reels that were on Twitter, just Instagram or anything, of Tennessee baseball last year when they made the run in the playoffs.
Nope.
Go watch some of those, because some of the stuff that they did were so amazing, and I would have loved to be in that atmosphere. The bat tosses that you talk about, you would love to be in the MLB. Just all the atmosphere that you could think of. Like Tennessee went out and bought, and again, the only reason I know anything about Tennessee is because my boss is from Tennessee, and he always would tell me about this. They went out and bought like so many more extra bleachers just for the occasion and filled them all out. It was a good time for baseball. So I think this could be a good move by college baseball and ESPN. I didn't talk to you about this at all, but what are you thinking? Because I know you don't really like college sports at all, but what do you think about this?
Yeah, I'm definitely not a college sport person, but I think it's good for the MLB in a way too, and obviously good for the sport of baseball. But here's the thing, right? We love the NFL and we love these players because we also know who they are, like basically their entire process.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've watched them in college. There's the combine, everything. They get drafted, they go play for our favorite team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's players that get drafted in the MLB every year. Like, and I mean like top 10 picks that I have never heard of.
Right.
Like I have literally never heard of some of the people that have gotten drafted high
It's
in the
usually
MLB.
maybe 3 players tops that you can recognize the name.
Yeah, like this year, I mean, there
The
was
Vandy
actually
pitcher,
no.
I couldn't think of
Yeah,
his name.
yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. The two Vanderbilt pitchers that got drafted, that I just can't remember their names, like you said, but this helps it. And
Mm-hmm.
I have, I wouldn't say fully watch it, which is actually kind of weird now that I think about this. Like my mom doesn't really like watch sports that much,
Mm-hmm.
but she loves college stuff, like
Really?
college baseball, college softball, like the Little League World Series. She's obsessed with.
Love it.
So hey, listen, this might be, and then here's the thing too, right? Like I said, you kind of make connections with the players, and then maybe, oh look, down the road she'll walk into my room or something, and maybe they'll be pitching in the MLB, and she'll recognize them and be like, oh, maybe I do want to follow them now because I like them
Right.
when they were at Oklahoma or
Mm-hmm.
Vanderbilt, wherever they were. So it is about making those connections as well. Maybe I'll watch some of these. I usually do, attempt to tune in to like the College World Series. As I do with a lot of the college sports. I usually like with basketball. I'm only there for the Final Four. I'm only watching
Just the
the
Final
Four.
Four?
Yeah, I don't care about anything else. Don't care. Didn't ask.
I mean, do you watch March Madness at all, or just
Yeah,
the
the
Final
Four.
Oh my goodness.
No, I don't give. I literally don't care about your 1/16 matchup. Don't care at all.
It's the 5-12 that's the best to watch.
Yeah, still don't care.
Beautiful.
College football, like I'll watch the national championship because I feel like I have to.
Okay, I need to know why you don't watch college sports. Like there has to be.
Boring.
No, do you just not have a favorite team? Like, is there nothing in New York that's college?
No, I don't.
Like?
I mean, there's no football teams here. The only basketball team I could really care for is Syracuse, which I still don't care about.
Which, did you know the coach to Syracuse married a woman from Harlan, where I live? Just throwing that out.
You know that the owner of the Knicks graduated from the same college as me?
Oh, yeah? That's cool.
Oh, yeah. And have you ever watched The Sopranos?
I haven't.
That's disgusting, by the way. You get on me for not watching stuff all the time or not knowing stuff. The fact
that
you
I agree.
Watch Sopranos is disgusting.
100% agree. It's fair.
But apparently Tony's sister in the show graduated from my college as well. Didn't know that.
Like in real life or like in the character?
No, like in real life. Like the actress that played his sister.
Okay.
And apparently she's like donating scripts and stuff to our college.
Nice.
So it's kind of lit. But no, I mean, I don't know. It's just never like for all the football stuff is everything. Everybody's down south. Like it's always Alabama and the colleges around there and stuff. So I just don't care. I mean, I didn't go to, and that's the other thing. I feel like a lot of people get their college love from the place they go. I went local. Like I didn't all of a sudden go to Florida State or Florida or something like that. So now that's the only team I care about. Like I didn't go there, so I don't care.
Is it just you, or is this kind of a New Yorker thing that I never really would have thought of? Because I mean, really, we have Kentucky basketball. So if you live in Kentucky, obviously you love them, or Louisville. So like, really, New York, you would have Syracuse. But if you're not very close to Syracuse, why would you cheer for them?
Yeah, honestly, I could not really tell you too many people I know that care about college sports.
Okay. I'm sorry, because college sports are wonderful. You need to find you a team and dedicate it.
Like, don't get me wrong, I would go to one live because I feel like it'd be fun because the atmosphere looks fun. Like, trust me, I know how college stuff is, so it would definitely be fun.
It's much more rowdier. Like, that's fun.
But like watching on TV, I'm good. There's no need for me to see Alabama play Western Mississippi, North Dakota State. Like I don't care. They're gonna win by. There was a week in college football this year that like every top 10 team won by like 30 points. Why would you ever watch that?
Well, if it's your team that's winning, it's very nice. Like I mean, you watch when who's your football team? The Patriots blow out someone, do you not?
I mean, technically, this year when they beat the Jags by 40, I turned the game off.
When? Fourth quarter?
No, halftime.
Well, what's the Jags?
It was like 30-0. I was like, I'm not watching this.
Okay. You're just a fair weather fan, I guess.
Now this.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, I was going to say I don't have anything else. So why don't you tell the people where they can find you?
You can find me at MDLawson00 on pretty much every platform there is. You can go on Twitter and check it out. It's in my bio. I have a link tree where you can find everything that I'm a part of. You can also check me out here with Unwrapped Sports Network on Saturday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time with my show. It's called Count the Bucket, Everything NBA. Got a lot to talk about with the trades that all went down today. Today was the deadline.
Ben Simmons, welcome to the city, baby.
Like, I'm as much as I badmouth Ben Simmons, I think this trade will be good for him. Like, he doesn't have to be the creator offensively. Like, I think he's going to excel in this. Like, the very first game, may flirt with a triple-double. Calling it now. Bam. But anyways, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturdays. Count the Bucket. And, of course, Thursday we've got Backstop Banter. That's really basically it. Go check us out on all social medias.
Yes, sir. As for me, Generational Sports Monday, 7 Eastern. Me and my guy Josh talk about everything. UFC 257, I think. 257 is this week. I don't really know the numbers. There's a lot of numbers.
Why do UFC, they number it? Like, why not just say UFC?
Oh, you're talking to the wrong guy again. Go hit up Dana. But we'll recap that. Obviously, there's kind of a game this Sunday called the Super Bowl. So we're going to recap that one. NBA stuff. We talk about everything over there. That's Mondays at 7 Eastern. Tuesdays, I do the hard count, which is everything football. Hey, listen, it's kind of this show, except the football version of it. With my guy CJ. Now this. With my guy CJ, talking everything that you need to know. And then Thursdays, me and Michael do this. Obviously, Backstop Banter, everything in the baseball world. My Twitter's Anthony Conover _. You can also follow this pod, Gen Z Sports, right there. You can follow our pod, right there where Michael is, Backstop Banter. All podcasts are available on every streaming platform that you literally could listen to. Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever you want to listen to it on. We're there. And listen, Colorcast as well. Shout out all the people in the Colorcast, as I can hear myself again because Michael put his phone closer to his mic.
I did.
I know you did. But yeah, so Jesus, Michael, how loud are you going to make it?
I haven't moved it since. I literally arm's reach to there. Like,
I don't know. It's just real loud.
9 inches.
You wouldn't know.
Wow.
Anyway,
you moaned on it, so let's just get that out of the way.
But with that, listen, we're off the rails.
We're waiting for you to close up.
With that being said, everybody, go follow the Colorcast. Type in USA. You can find everybody over there. You can find everybody over there. Okay.
Type in USN in the search bar. You will find everyone with the under.
Wow, it's almost like I just said that. It's crazy.
You said everyone.
But with that being said, we will catch you on the next edition of this wonderful show.